Thank you for coming. This is a great solution for premenstrual syndrome, otherwise known as PMS, since 1999. It's the result of years of research and development, and we've worked super hard on it. It is a whole new way of thinking about PMS based on new scientific evidence. It's an incredible system for getting rid of PMS. Women are living PMS-free. For some, their hair is growing back. No more bloating or breast tenderness. How do I know women are getting better? I got this email. I have removed as many xenoestrogens as possible from my environment, skin, and diet, as you advised, for nearly a month now, and the improvement has been amazing. I have lost 7 pounds this month. My last period cycle was 28 days. Who knew? And my hair has started to grow back after 4 years of thinning. The biggest thing is that my body is quiet, for lack of a better way to describe it. No more stomach aches, bloating, or headaches, no breast pain, and my moods are more consistent day to day. My energy is coming back, skin is great. I can't believe it. I just thought I'd share another testimony. Anyway, the other differences I've experienced are incredible. My mood is so much better, so even keel, and feeling great. Also, I have lost 15 pounds in 2 months without even really trying. This was not something intentional. I still eat the same amount, only now I eat better. The extra fat around my waistline is leaving and almost gone. I am 39 years old and have struggled with my monthly issues and breast pain for quite some time. Oh, and my weight? 2 months ago it was 145 pounds, and now I am 130 pounds. Had to purchase new clothes. I am getting my body back, and my skin has cleared up, and my hair feels great. It seemed as though my hair kept thinning, and now it has stopped, in that I don't seem to have as much falling out when I run my fingers through it. These emails remind us of why we do what we do. So we have 18,000 customers since 1999 to the present of 2013. 3,000 of these customers are PMS patients. We've been in business from 1999 to 2013. We've had an above 90% success rate in those women that have followed directions exactly. We ship to 31 different countries: Sweden, Norway, Finland, Iceland, France, Great Britain, Spain, Italy, Greece, Singapore, Japan, Korea, Australia, Malaysia, and Taiwan. So this is our product, Progestel. It's in a glass bottle. Just 2 ingredients: coconut oil and USP pharmaceutical grade progesterone. This is our product. We're really happy with our solution. And so what exactly is PMS? Well, PMS contains many symptoms, but some of the major symptoms are bloating, water retention, breast tenderness, possible hair loss, chocolate craving just before the period, mood swings, and weight gain. It actually varies with the cycle. And no, this is not normal. So first, I want to talk about the hormone that mimics pregnancy. And then I want to talk about the cause of PMS, xenoestrogens. Progesterone is the hormone of pregnancy and occurs during the latter half of the menstrual cycle, before the age of 35. Pro means for. Gesterone means gestation. So progesterone means for gestation. It is important to use natural progesterone. Natural progesterone is the same identical hormone that your body makes. Natural progesterone does not create birth defects. In contrast, synthetic brand name progestins create birth defects. So, progesterone helps PMS. If day 1 is the first day of the period, you may take it from days 6 through 26 if you do not want to conceive immediately. Otherwise, take progesterone from days 14 through 26. So, estrogen dominance is too much estrogen. And where is this excess estrogen coming from? Xenoestrogens. Xenoestrogens contribute to PMS. Xenoestrogens are chemicals or natural herbs that mimic estrogen. Progesterone can balance out small amounts of xenoestrogens, but progesterone cannot balance out large amounts of xenoestrogens. Progesterone with large amounts of xenoestrogens will make your PMS worse until you stop the progesterone. Caution! Many over-the-counter and pharmacy compounded progesterone creams contain estrogenic herbs and preservatives. This is a very painful lesson I learned. You have to be very careful because many of the over-the-counter progesterone creams and even the compounded creams contain estrogenic herbs and preservatives. Back in 1999, when I started treating endometriosis patients, I would tell them to buy an off-the-shelf progesterone cream. My patients would call me back and say, "Hey doc, now I'm worse. What's the deal?" So let me explain what happened. In 1999, my 70-year-old mother had a fibroid about the size of a grapefruit. She had been on synthetic estrogen. I took her off the synthetic estrogen. Likely, if I had done this alone, her fibroid would have disappeared. I had read John Lee MD's book, What Your Doctor May Not Tell You About Menopause. He suggested to give her progesterone cream to make her fibroid disappear. So from his list of creams in the book, I bought one and sent it to my mother. After 1 month of using it, she called me back and said her fibroid was bigger now. So I said, "What? Your fibroid's bigger now?" So I began to study the progesterone cream that I had given her. They said they had purposely put rosemary into the cream for hot flashes, and it was a phytoestrogen. So I was very ignorant. So I said, "What's a phytoestrogen?" They answered, "Those are plants that act like estrogen." So I went back to John Lee MD's book and got a second cream and gave that to my mother. In 3 months, the fibroid disappeared. Then I became curious about the second cream. I went down to visit my brother in Austin, Texas, and used the University of Texas MSDS computer database to check out the ingredients. I found that it contains steroconium chloride. 3 cc's of steroconium chloride taken orally causes fatal convulsions in adults. And so if she had eaten 1/3 of the bottle, she would die of fatal convulsions. So I called them up and asked them, "How can you do this?" They said, "We're doing nothing wrong. This is a standard cream. We mix the progesterone in it and package it." Then I started looking at department stores and found that the vast majority of cosmetics and toiletries contain ingredients not good for you. These chemicals could be either toxic, carcinogens, or hormone disruptive. All 3 of these are different categories and must be evaluated separately. Then I started looking in the health food store. I love the health food store. I buy organic food there. But many of the products had estrogenic herbs in them. Many of the compounded progesterone creams had parabens in them as a preservative. Now, parabens have been in use for 30 years. They're not toxic, not carcinogens, and not hormone disruptive when taken orally. On the skin, parabens are not toxic and not carcinogens. However, parabens on the skin increase rat uteri weight by 22%. So those little rat uteruses or uteri, they increase by 22% when you put parabens on the skin in rats. So parabens on the skin made my endometriosis patients worse. So, what are xenoestrogens? Xenoestrogens are chemicals or herbs that mimic estrogen and contribute to PMS. I'd like to show you a teaser video from Frontline PBS about xenoestrogens. Let's roll the video.
Six years ago, marine biologists became alarmed at reports of massive fish kills on the rivers in this region. Every year, smallmouth bass were being decimated by some mysterious problem. Spring and fall, hundreds of fish would be found floating in the water, belly up.
So you see this.
I caught up with Vicki Blazer, a fish pathologist with the U.S. Geological Survey, who was trying to figure out why the fish were dying. What do we got here?
So here we have this large discolored area in the liver, and then you see all these little white spots. Here's another totally discolored area.
And that's a signal of some bigger problem.
Yes, when we see a really high prevalence in a population, that indicates there's some problem going on in that water.
And when Blazer dug deeper, she found a surprise.
One of the major and most interesting findings was intersex in the male bass. When we look at the male gonads or testes, what we find is immature eggs within the male testes.
So you got sort of feminization of male fish. Is that a big, alarming finding in marine biology, aquatic biology?
Yes, and that has certainly attracted a lot of concern and attention.
Scientific studies have linked abnormal mutations in marine creatures, like intersex, to exposure to chemical compounds that mimic or imitate natural hormones in the body. These chemicals are called endocrine disruptors.
Endocrine disruptors are very, very potent chemicals at infinitesimally small quantification. I mean, you're talking about parts per million or parts per billion. They interrupt the normal way in which the body controls everything from growth and development to thyroid function to reproductive function to estrogen levels, testosterone levels. So they're very, very important, and they are a deep concern because there's so many of them now.
There are thousands of these worrisome chemicals that have gotten into the environment. And one reason is that they're part of everything we do.
The list of things that bring these organic pollutants into our bodies is a long list. And it ranges from home care products, soaps, toothpaste, cleaning agents in the household, to things we put on our lawns, the things that we use all the time, the plastic industry, the rubber industry, lubricants, fuels, the highways.
When you see scientists like Vicki Blazer cutting open fish, finding intersex in the male fish, seeing high levels of fish kills, seeing immune systems disrupted, seeing other damage to the fish, is that a warning to you potentially about human health?
Oh, absolutely. The warning not just from the smallmouth bass in the Potomac, but from amphibians all across the country. You have frogs with 6 legs, hermaphroditic frogs, male frogs with ovaries, female frogs with male genitalia. These are the canaries, the modern canary in the mine, that we haven't been paying enough attention to.
Poisoned Waters. Watch online or on air beginning April 21st.
So xenoestrogens are not only synthetic chemicals, they are natural herbs as well. Here is a page from our free Android app about endometriosis that you can download for free. Xenoestrogens can contribute to endometriosis and PMS. Xenoestrogens can be